And we back. Today we looking at Bradley Anae, formerly of Utah, edge pass rusher or designated pass rusher, DPR as the Cowboys call it. Defensive end, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call him. He's on our team now, formerly of Utah. A double-digit sack guy, and he did it versus some pretty good competition. Austin Jackson here versus USC. Throckmorton, that pretty good Oregon offensive line over there. I think he showed out versus Texas. Trey Adams from Washington. So he's run against some actual draft picks, some actual talent. He got big sack numbers on. So I just kind of want to get to the haters before we get to it. Also, something else too, because I know it's gonna be some I Am Legend monsters in my chat box and comment section. Like, well, Vach, you saying all these good things about him. Why did he fall to the fifth round? Well, let's compare him to someone that was considered a top tier pass rush talent. Let's say like Randy Gregory, right? He was gonna be a top 5 pick. Let's take all the side stuff out. But what's the difference between Randy and like a Bradley and I? Bradley and I is not physically impressive, right? And I think he fell in the draft because sometimes these super analytic guys, they kind of let that cloud their football judgment or whatnot. So Bradley and I is not physically impressive. He didn't run the great 40. He doesn't have the long arms. He's not naturally a twitchy guy. But what he wins with is he wins with relentlessness. He wins with his own sort of kind of bend, and he wins with nuanced pass rush moves. So I'm going to say a lot about him, a lot of great things about him. And somebody's going to say, well, Vash, why wasn't he drafted earlier? I just gave y'all that explanation. Let's run into it. We're going to talk about some good things about Bradley and I, and we're going to talk about some bad things, right? This ain't just a highlight tape where I'm showing all of his sacks. I could do that, but we ain't going to do that. I'm going to show some pressures, but I really just wanted to show plays to kind of show you guys, just his nuanced technique. He has day one nuanced pass rush technique, and that's going to help him a bunch with him not being physically impressive. You take a look at his technique right here. He's lined up over the left tackle, Austin Jackson here. He's going to be number 6 for the duration of the film. But you see this move a lot in the National Football League, right? You see D-Law do this all the time. Quinn did this a bunch last year. Other nuanced guys, Bradley Chubb does it, right? Where you get that hand in the chest, the long arm stab jab move we call it on this channel, and then the defeating of the outside hand with his other hand. You see what I mean? Just that wrist control. This moment right here, that's kind of nuanced pass rush right there. We're creating distance with our left hand, right? Because you don't want these offensive linemen to get hands on you. We're creating distance with our left hand and defeating your power by neutralizing that right hand. Some great timing on that. And to be fair, his quarterback would have been dead as fried chicken if he wouldn't have just dipped out like that. And I hate the number 19 on a quarterback or whatever. But and then we just got some pretty good pursuit. He didn't get there, so I cut this play off. But he ain't just like jog right there. So that's one play. Let's see what we got right here. Bradley and I. Let's see what he does lined up over the left tackle. So look, the quarterback didn't run away from us, and it kind of worked this time. They had a pretty good fight, man. Bradley and I and Austin Jackson, man, they had a pretty good fight today. But boy, Bradley got him real nasty right here. Coming off the ball, what that first step look like? Great first step, ball snap. Great first step, boom, boom, boom. Same thing, right? But how about this though? How about this? Not only is he jabbing to create space, but look at this lean, man. He's making himself more powerful. He's leaning into them joints. He's leaning into that elbow, right, to make himself a little more powerful, to create a little bit more distance right there. And then he's just gonna come around the edge, man, getting them hands off of you. If you listen to me break down pass rushes, the most important part of the pass rush is getting that outside hand off of you, or whatever direction you're going. If you're going inside, get the inside hand off. You're going outside, get that outside hand off of you, right? Take a look at Austin Jackson's left hand, which is his outside hand, right? If this hand stays on Bradley does not finish this play, right? But Bradley's gonna swing this damn arm over the top to defeat that left hand. You see him just getting that, get your USC ass off of me. He's gonna finish the play, man. Anyway, it's a lot to be excited. Look at Bradley and now. Look at Brad. Look at Brad. This goes back to nuance, right? This goes back to nuance. At this point in the game, just giving y'all a little bit of context, Bradley's been rushing outside every time, right? You know, he's just rushing outside, and he's giving heavy pressure to the outside. So, hey, if I've been rushing outside all day, and you know that I'm a threat to the outside, man, let's just switch it up and go inside, right? I'm going to identify the idea that Austin Jackson, your left tackle here, is opening his hips now because he's galloping to stay with me, right? Let's go back and look at this last play. Let's go back and look. How does Austin Jackson how does he react to being outside rushed? Right? Let's just take a look and see. We just see him galloping right here. See this overreaction here by Austin Jackson? He's really opening them hips. He's opening them hips up, man. And I think Bradley and I noticed that. Noticed that, man. And if you're going to open up the hips outside real heavy like that, I'm going to, of course, get back inside on you, man. I'm going to, of course, use your leverage and put me inside and throw you to the outside. Of course, I'm going to get you off balance, man. I'm using all this to my advantage. We didn't get the sack here because the ball got out quick, but these ain't highlights. This is just me showing you the pros and cons to his technique, man. He may not be physically impressive, but I think these nuance, just these small little things in his technique and how he approaches with a plan, I think that's going to keep him alive in a lot of these exchanges, man. And of course, this is just Bradley and I just taking the outside here, man. Just taking the outside. I think Austin Jackson got fantastic feet, first of all. Let's give him that. I may hate on him because he get bullied around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the Iowa game, you know what I'm saying, your boy AJ Epinesa just kind of pushed Austin Jackson around a little bit. So when Austin Jackson gets to live in a fight with somebody that's not going to push him around like Bradley and I, Austin really he has really good feet. So the fact that Bradley and I can take the edge from Austin Jackson, considering he has really good feet, I think that says a lot about Bradley and I being able to take over the edge. But let's move on. And 2 bits of criticism before we move on. First of all, let me just say, and I ain't got to show the film of it because you can find plenty of examples of it. And I do encourage you guys to watch film on your own after you kind of get my context or whatever. Bradley and I is not going to tear he's not going to tear it up in the run game. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be cool in the run game. He can exist in the run game. But think about like Robert Quinn, like when we had him. Like Robert Quinn, of course, gave you big sack numbers. But, you know, after a while, you know, in my mind, I was like, yo, I don't think I want to start Robert Quinn on every single down because he wasn't really giving me that much of an advantage in the run game. And I think Bradley and I is going to have some of those same issues. You know, even if you ask him, he wants to set the edge a little better. He wants to get off blocks a little better. But sometimes in his pass rush repertoire, sometimes he may get a little too cute trying to like set moves up or whatever. And you can see him thinking right now. Take a look at number 6 over here. You can see him kind of thinking to set up Austin and what move can I use right here. And he doesn't end up going 100,000 miles per hour because he didn't think of his pass rush prior to doing it. Now, is that something he could work on? Absolutely. You know, when you watch reps of Bradley and I and he's thought of his pass rush plan, you can tell because he's going 10,000% super effort because he ain't got to think. Now you kind of see him thinking a little bit, and when he thinks, he ends up running down the middle of people. And as D ends, D linemen, we don't want to necessarily run down the middle of people because that's how we get blocked. So Bradley and I does have a little bit of that on his repertoire, but for the most part, he does think of a plan and he does put fire under his ass to go make the play. Let's transition a little bit. It's where Bradley and I really made his money at. I encourage you guys to go find the Senior Bowl on YouTube. I would have shown the Senior Bowl, but the Illuminati like to hit folks, so we ain't going to necessarily show that. You can go watch it on your own. But we are going to show some Senior Bowl practice. Hell. Y'all want to see something? We're going to talk about some Senior Bowl practice. All right. Let's take a look at Bradley and I, what he did versus his, what is this, the North team? Yeah. See what he did versus his North team cohorts here. He's going up against North Carolina's Charlie Heck, who got drafted this weekend. So this just further, you know, putting him against talent or whatnot. Bradley and I is going to come off the edge, boom, 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 and we just see more nuanced pass rush moves, right? We're going to get a step to the inside, and you see he steps to the inside. Heck is going to take that inside step just a little bit, and it pauses his feet. Charlie Heck got his feet paused right here, right? And we're going to continue to get our little rush to the outside, and we're going to end up to our landmark, man. Good job, Bradley and I. I don't know if the UConn kid got drafted. I mean, I was kind of cool on him, man. But Bradley and I just kind of smoked his boots to the outside, so we ain't even got to worry about. We ain't got to worry about nuance. We could just smoke your boots to the outside, player. You see what I'm saying? But even in that, though, even in smoking his boots to the outside, take a look at what your boy Bradley and I did. He's defeating the outside hand. If I can give any advice to young pass rushers, any advice to young defensive ends, young DPRs, defeat the hand on the side that you're going. If you're going outside, defeat that hand. You're going inside, defeat the hand. And I know I'm repeating myself, but sometimes you need to hear shit twice. Bradley not going to defeat that outside hand. He's going to get us a little W right there. What's going on right here? Who we up against? Against my West Virginia guy? Yeah, no match. No match for brother Bradley and I, man. He just saw a little bit of work to the outside. And to be fair, West Virginia, once you got to this point, you did a good job of keeping your feet active, but Brad was able to take that inside from you, playboy. Well, let's see how fast this was. Let's see. 1,001, 1,002. Yeah, that's a sack in real life. So that's a sack in real life, unless the quarterback moves around. But if he scrambles to the outside, then D-Law will get him on the other side. So that's the beauty of these one-on-one drills. Let's see what happens here with brother Bradley and I. So, yes, this is one of those examples here, right? Like I said, we're not going to hide nothing on this channel. You see him kind of thinking a little bit. You see him at this point right here. He just kind of, what do I do with my hands right now? You know what I'm saying? He kind of engages, but he didn't defeat any hands. And then you see him, okay, let me get my left hand off, but I didn't know what to do with it. And I just end up running down the middle of somebody. That's what we're talking about with Bradley and I. He can smoke you 3 times, but but that one time you may just catch him slipping. What do I do with my left hand here? I'm just gonna take it off and put it right back on you. I'm not gonna, swim. I'm not gonna, rip. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Just kind of lost in a plan there, but that's okay because that don't always happen. But running down the middle of people will get you blocked in the National Football League. He eventually, watch this, y'all. He eventually did, turn this into a cloth pull rip or whatever, but that can happen versus my Wake Forest guy, but that may not happen versus, Tyron Smith. You know what I'm saying? So training camp should be lit. We got my UConn guy again. What happened? Yeah, more the same. More the same. Caught himself. He kind of got caught right there running down the middle, but he pulled cloth and got away. And I will give him credit there. If he does get caught running down the middle of people, he will kind of adjust, pull some cloth, and get out of there. But in the league, you got to get sacks in 3 seconds, man. Sometimes 2.5 seconds. The ball's going to come out quick. So just those small little nuances, man, those small little techniques, man. We may not have time to engage this fella right now, like engaging him like that, and then coming around and, you know what I mean? That may work, that may work elsewhere, but that ain't gonna work in the National Football League, player. But Bradley and I as a prospect is very, very exciting, and I was stoked to be able to get him in the 5th round, man. So I want everybody to go do your own research on Bradley and I. I'm sure my colleagues will be dropping some film. You know what I'm saying? Foots Okoye Law, they're gonna be dropping film and thoughts. So y'all go check them out as well. Hey, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski, man. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLONBARDI. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and all that. We still trying to get them sub numbers, man. I hit 50. Let's get to 100 now. Yep. Peace, y'all. The YouTube Illuminati is taking money away from your favorite content creators, and people often ask the best way to support the channel directly. I tell them that's subscribing to my Patreon. Just $1 a month would increase production and the frequency of uploads. Basically, that means more content for you. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can support the channel, call dibs on requests for future videos, and you can have access to Patreon exclusive material like my throwback film sessions. That's patreon.com/VachLombardi. I appreciate the support. Doski Woski. Salute.